schemes. They're forcing me. They're forcing me to take part in their schemes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Puddy, and welcome to the first of at least 4 podcasts over WrestleMania weekend. We are going to be joined at least by His Majesty, leader of the ranch, the newly expanded ranch.
Leader of the ranch.
Leader of the ranch.
It could only be worse if you called me leader of the plantation. Like, that gets really, I was going to say racy, but no, quite literally at that point.
Well, Guaulai, or whatever it was.
Yeah, go on lie. I don't know.
Tucker spent most of the last 2 hours educating me on Asian linguistics, which, you know, I'm eternally grateful for.
Not just Asian, thank you. Mostly, predominantly Chinese. There are 3 different ones. Mandarin, Cantonese, and the other one.
Yeah, but you also educated me on Japanese. So, you know, you got the whole Asia in there.
I got the whole thing.
Yeah, that's all of Asia, right? China and Japan? Yeah.
That would sound right.
That's what All Elite Wrestling think. Speaking of wrestling, actually, no, we won't do Evolve straight away, because Evolve sucks.
We won't do Evolve, cutting it.
No, we should start, though, with the plan. So, Tucker, would you like to outline the plan?
I would definitely love to outline the plan. So the plan for shows that we will be watching this weekend. Evolve 125, which I have finished watching a couple hours ago when it went live or whatever, you know, whatever sentences are. Tomorrow we've got Shimmer 113.
Maybe.
Yeah. I won't be around for it live, I don't think, but
I'm still not entirely sure what the Club WWN is showing this weekend. So anything that's under the WWN banner, I would be wary about assuming we're going to watch.
Okay, so then maybe WWN Super Show also tomorrow, possibly.
Yeah, if there's any WWN show I want to watch this weekend, it is that one. Because it's usually quite good. Surprisingly good, too. Like, usually they pull out some weird shit. Like, a couple of years ago, they had a 6-man tag that was, like, match of the year level, somehow.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say this cautiously, because I think it's the plan, but it might have changed. I'm not sure. NXT TakeOver.
That's the big one.
We will be live. Watching TakeOver. Live.
Quite good.
In the flesh. We will be there. In the crowd. You can come meet us. The Canadian booth.
The Canadian booth. So if you're interested in listening to our commentary on the WWE Network, if you click on the settings cog during TakeOver and select language and you switch it to Canadian, you'll be hearing us. We're mainly just going to have a piss up with people from the crowd. So if you want to come over and say hi, we'll have drinks, snacks, and maple syrup.
You have to have maple syrup. It's the law.
I mean, that's the only reason we're allowed to do the Canadian booth.
That's true, yeah. But,
no, we're going to do an alternative commentary track / hangout podcast for TakeOver. That's the current plan, right?
Yeah.
So we'll start maybe 15 minutes before the show starts, and we'll wrap up as long as we want to go, because we're probably going to have thoughts on the show.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to have aftermath.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's actually, after Tucker's finished with his Evolve review and we finish outlining all the plans, we're going to preview TakeOver with predictions and thoughts about how good it's going to be. But that's the big show tomorrow night, is the TakeOver one. So we're going to be live during it. So if you like me, you like Tucker, you like TakeOver, and I mean the commentary for NXT is consensus quite good. But if you're interested in just a different environment, then you can come to the podcast, just hang out, watch it while the show's going on.
On Saturday, We've got
the Hall of Fame.
More Than Mania wrap-up, whatever that is. I don't know what that is.
So More Than Mania is like WWN's weekend.
Right.
So presumably, they might stream that on Club WWN.
So it's just like a wrap-up show to wrap up?
It is a wrestling show, I think.
Oh.
But it's the last one of their weekend.
Okay.
So it might be like a mini Super Show. It might be like a mini version. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm hoping it's like a mini version of the WWN Super Show.
Interesting. I had to mention it, and thus I was punished for mentioning it. According to this pin, we will be watching NXT Ring of Honor at Madison Square Garden. NXT.
Wait, what?
Look at that pin.
Did I say NXT?
NXT Ring of Honor. The crossover.
yeah, the big NXT Ring of Honor show that's going on at Madison Square Garden.
It's just Ring of Honor management crying, like, come back, please.
Okay, there we go. It's fixed.
I've been just informed that it is New Japan Pro Wrestling actually holding that joint show with Ring of Honor at Madison Square Garden.
So what happened is I didn't know that show was happening. Okay, in theory I knew that show was happening. I heard the news last year that Ring of Honor had booked MSG, and I assumed that they would be running it with New Japan, right? That's a reasonable assumption to make. Ooh. Discord is kind of fucking fucky a little bit, so I'll try and make my points as I move both of us into the waiting room accidentally. Don't know if this is me or if this is Discord, although my...
No, it's definitely me.
Oh, no, well, I think it's Discord, because my voice connector was on red for a bit. You sound okay now.
Yeah, okay, we're good now. Okay, that was wild.
So, yeah, that's probably going to happen a lot over the weekend. We might try and look into... We're definitely going to look into a backup solution for voice, for sure. At the very least,
Google Hangouts.
No, we'll do Skype. But, like, we'll have a backup rather than, we're not going to switch off Discord, but definitely having a backup is a good idea.
MSN Messenger.
That brings back some bad memories.
Oh, no.
Well, you have to understand the age I was at when that was the thing, right? That MSN Messenger was the thing when I was going through puberty, right? So that's a vulnerable age. What I'm saying is that I got groomed.
That went from like a slight illusion to like, haha, I looked at porn to like just full on like.
Wait, how do you look at porn through MSN Messenger?
I've never used it.
Oh, so you don't...
I'm too young. I don't know.
Blind reference.
Already. Well, it wasn't gone, but...
Do you know what Bebo is?
No.
Do you know what MySpace is?
I know of MySpace as the phantom thing that died out.
Okay.
Right when Facebook got popular.
Right, we've pinpointed. Anyway, we were talking... Oh, yeah, so what happened is I knew in theory that a show existed. I assumed they would be running it with New Japan. My interest in that show stopped about last, October or something, after, when it got announced, and I was like, oh, it's cool, they're running MSG Mania weekend, and then I haven't heard anything since. Tucker came to me recently and was like, hey, let's both laugh at how shitty ROH's card is. I looked at it, I was like, it's a pretty good card, and so now we're watching it.
I've been punished for bringing it up. The main event, I'm scared. I'm really
we don't
scared.
Have to watch the main event.
It's going to be Matt Taven's crowning moment, and it's going to upset me. They've pushed him so hard. He's walking around with a Jeff Hardy purple belt, proclaiming himself the real world champion, like Ric Flair did in fucking 93.
ROH will literally be running the real world champion gimmick for 4 years now, non-stop.
Oh my god, you're right, because they did Lethal, and then...
I think Strong. I think they had something with Strong at some point.
Oh, why can they never just...
Well, look, that's a New Japan show. We'll be
Yes.
We probably won't preview that, but we probably will review that.
Yeah.
So that'll be a Saturday night show. We'll review it afterwards. And then on Sunday afternoon, we're gonna do a preview show for the pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after the pre-show, we're going to do a review of the pre-show. And then if we have time, we might review the other thing. But we're really only focused on the pre-show.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. There's going to be a lot of big guests on the pre-show. I've heard that Sam Roberts, he's on the pre-show. And so, we're very excited.
I think we're on
Sam
the pre-show
Roberts
at some point. But only on the Canadian network.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had been offered a spot as the Canadian Wrestling Booking Ambassador 2017.
Oh, they changed the... Wait. Okay, let's not unpick that one. No, actually on Sunday we'll do a preview show in the afternoon, and then we'll review Mania afterwards. I have absolutely no desire to sit there and do a podcast through the 8-hour show. So we're going to do one afterwards. If this blows up, maybe we'll do one during it next year. But we'll have a rotating cast of characters. There is a open invitation for my main co-host from the non-wrestling shows, who does sometimes dabble in some of the graps, Marshall Pearson, to come on and take some of my credentials and watch some shows over the weekend and talk about them. But whether he'll make an appearance is up to him. I warned him about how long WrestleMania is going to be, so I doubt it.
Pretty accurate, but I warned him.
Yeah, I mean, look. So we have, let's see here, we've mainly covered the plan, and we've only been going about 10 minutes, so I think we can talk about a topic. Do you think WrestleMania is too long?
I think there's having a big show.
There's having the big show.
Yes, there's having the big show, there's having a big show, and then there's 8 hours of wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, no human should ever want to sit through 8 hours of wrestling, let alone not really top-notch wrestling most of the time.
There's a part of me that wants to completely buck against this general consensus, because I do think I'm kind of fine with it, because it's a once a year thing. You know what I mean? I think people are mainly burnt out about it because all the other shows are 4 hours long.
I was about to say, all the other shows are what WrestleMania used to be.
Yeah.
But
I think, when I was watching the Tokyo Dome shows before, I think I watched last year's Tokyo Dome show with some enthusiasm. But this year, I watched it, but I wasn't super enthused about it. So when I used to watch the Tokyo Dome shows pretty enthusiastically, I was like, oh, this is really fucking long. But it's once a year. It's a pinnacle, you know what I mean? It's a show. It's got a lot of flashy stuff to it. And I'm kind of fine with just sitting down and just having the day dedicated to it. It's kind of cool to have a day dedicated to something. But what I will say is that I do see a lot of benefits for a 2-day WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I see very little downside, aside from there might, somewhere along the way, someone's getting fucked financially, and it's probably going to be the consumer, not the business, because that's usually how it works.
Yeah.
But even then, the people who go to Mania every year, and there's a chunk of them. It's probably let's ask 30,000 at least. At least 30,000 people go to Mania every year, right? I'm talking about the same people. I'm not 30,000 minimum. I'm talking about these 30,000 people have been to the last 10. These specific 30,000 people, yeah. So, those people already spend a lot of money on this. And if people only go to one Mania every 5 years, they also spend a lot of money on it. I don't think anybody's going to WrestleMania as a budget weekend out anymore. But I might be wrong. Maybe there are some ways to do that. But you have it's a holiday, right? It's your yearly holiday budget.
Right.
So, and I do think if they did a 2-day WrestleMania, they'd sell 2-day tickets, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I think they would fill whatever stadium they're at both times. I think one of the concerns I've raised is that it's difficult to fill a stadium 2 days in a row, and I just think to myself the people who go to this show it's a pilgrimage, right? They go there for the weekend anyway. Like, very few people, I think, go in on the Sunday and leave on the Monday or even the Tuesday if they're watching all three of the WWE shows. I think most people are there on Thursday, Friday. They're watching the indie shows, maybe, or they're experiencing the city, right, if they're not into the indie stuff. And then they're going to Mania on the Sunday as the end of the weekend. Probably, these days, a lot of people are probably going to TakeOver if they're going to Mania. Even if they're not indie fans. And is Hall of Fame a public event? Do you get tickets to that?
I think you can, but it's like the back kind of rows, right?
Yeah.
They have like a weird like fan section, and then
they force all the current talent to go.
Yeah, and like John Cena's got to sit in the crowd and clap and smile at people that he doesn't really care about, and he's like, "Why am I not filming a movie right now? What's going on?"
Is Cena at Mania this year?
No,
definitely.
Rumored he'd come out and fight Angle, but that looks decreasingly possible every single day that nothing comes out about it at all.
What are the odds that they throw him versus Taker on the card like last minute?
100. It's happening.
Rematch of the century.
Yep.
It's like once in a lifetime. You should do it again.
She's gonna do it again
the next year afterwards. Okay, so we'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about how long Mania is after we've sat through 12 plus hours of wrestling by the end of this weekend. So Tucker's already gotten a head start. So Tucker, I think my Discord is fucking up. I was about to have a beautiful segue to Tucker's Evolve review. It was going to be beautiful. The biggest and best. Actually, I'm going to try Skype now. And I'm going to see. Actually, is Skype even installed on this PC? No. Unless, actually, is it? Let's have a check here. What's interesting is that it's disconnecting from Discord, but the stream's fine. So it's definitely Discord. Weird. I could change the where the server is located. But I forget how to do that. Server settings. Here it is. Let's change to... I mean, Central Europe sounds like a bad idea. US East. Hello?
Hello?
I changed the server location to US East. So maybe we'll be okay. Speaking of those 12 hours of wrestling, Tucker has gotten a head start. Why don't you tell us about Evolve 125?
Yeah, so little asterisk next to tell us about Evolve 125. I watched like
Tucker, why don't you tell us about Evolve 125? Asterisk me, motherfucker.
So I watched
go on, asterisk.
4 of the matches there. And I'll kind of run through them as they happened. We finally got Club WN working. After
you paid for it, of course.
Yes, after I myself paid for it. I am a member of the economy.
You are a member of the Club WWN.
I am a member of the Club WWN.
I am not reading this from a piece of paper.
I am not reading this from a piece of paper. But of course, it's the first match that I saw was WN champion JD Drake fighting Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits.
Noted single star.
Yes, noted legend of the ring, Angelo Dawkins. Their match was fun, you know. Dawkins was never going to win. Probably. I mean, you look at some of his singles wins, and you might think to yourself, but no, in reality, he probably wasn't going to win, and that's only because he signed with NXT. If he was signed full-time with Evolve, throw the strap on him all the way. It was fun. It was 2 bigger lads doing big, sweaty lad things to each other. Like, I can't... There's not much to the match aside from they threw each other around a whole bunch, and Drake won, and he was far sweatier. I mean, I thought the pacing was all right for two bigger guys. I kind of feared it being slow, but I think that Dawkins is. I think he's pretty agile for a larger fellow, and he's not even that big. He's just kind of. He's more sweaty on the big and sweaty scale, where JD Drake is both greatly big and greatly sweaty.
Okay, so the way you're describing this to me, I'm pegging this at about a 3. What did you go on it?
I didn't rate them because I forgot that's a thing I do. But I would have gone probably 2.5, 2.7 on it.
2.7,
pretty run
noted.
Oh, 2.7, yeah. Noted rating system, 2.7.
2.7, yeah. No, you see Tucker, he goes in point ones. So, you'll find there are many wrestlers over the last few years who have expressed seething anger about their 4.9s. Disgusted.
Their 4.9.
About their 4.9s.
No, but all around, a pretty average opener. Kind of strange for an opener, I'll tell you though. Felt like something was missing, maybe some fast guys at the start. But I guess opening with a title match was a fairly smart move.
Did it almost feel like it wasn't an opener?
The pacing could fool you otherwise, but just the way that the presentation kind of was and the way the commentators were speaking would lead me to believe that there might have been some dark matches already, but, it didn't bother me too much,
I think it's probably worth mentioning that what I believe to be the murky match of the evening was just prior to when Tucker turned on the street.
Yes. We were fighting to get me in there, and it just wouldn't let me.
I didn't realize you wouldn't have seen much of the match anyway if it ended that quickly, but it was Darby Allin versus, was it Austin Theory?
Anthony Henry.
Anthony Henry, who I think was part of a tag team called the Workhorsemen like a year or two ago, which did really well. And then, of course, Darby Allin, who is Evolve's biggest success story over the last 3 years. Just a fantastic pro wrestler.
Yeah, he's fun. I
don't think Tucker is as high on young Darby as myself.
I'm not all that high on Evolve at this point at all. Like I very much watch Evolve because it's a thing that is sometimes on when I want to watch pro wrestling, and I'm like, hey, I know that name, and then I'm like, oh god, it's Austin Theory and Darby Allin all the time.
No, it's Anthony Henry.
They're all the same to me.
That's racist.
I think Austin Theory is definitely white. I watched a match with him in it. Anthony Henry, I think he's black, but I might be thinking of Desmond Xavier, which definitely makes me racist.
Moving swiftly along to the next match you watched.
It was Shane Swerve Strickland versus renowned singles competitor Montez Ford of the Street Profits.
Oh.
So this was like a mini blood feud because Shane Strickland feels that he's been... What's that?
I'm just surprised that this has occurred. Go on.
This is a mini blood feud, apparently.
Because... Wait, let me clarify this real quick. This is a mini blood feud between Shane Strickland and Montez Ford of the Street Profits.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
So Shane Strickland is upset because Montez Joe Gacy, I don't know how to say his name.
Well, the first half of that sounded interesting.
Known as the Unwanted.
Oh, I see.
They're just the Forgotten Sons of NXT. Like, literally. They are upset that they have been unwanted by the big companies. And so Shane Strickland just fights people because they're getting opportunities or something.
I mean, no, I think you're under... Look, I didn't see it play out. Well, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds okay. But, like, Montez Ford is, like, his main opponent, apparently.
Well, I haven't seen him... The Street Profits didn't seem that bad.
Listen, all right? All I'm saying is that Montez Ford has won one championship, and it was the Evolve Tag Team titles that the Unwanted literally have now.
Yeah, but he's, like, on NXT and stuff.
Do you get more money in kayfabe by wrestling on NXT compared to Evolve?
Oh, almost certainly, right?
You'd have to, or else Shane Strickland is angry about nothing.
No, because NXT in kayfabe is like a national show, right? Yeah.
Right.
And Evolve is like a sometimes in New York, sometimes in Florida show.
Right.
It's like actually Evolve. I think this is a good way to describe it. Evolve, because it's a modern indie, is a national show, but it only hits wrestling towns, whereas NXT hits all the towns.
That's a good call. This match had a lot of kicks. They're both very kicky men. Shane Strickland has a couple of his really just interesting spots. He jumps over the top rope, runs the apron, climbs up on top of the turnbuckle just to somersault off and hit a cutter for no reason. I said they were cool, not that they were remotely sensical or made me feel good watching them, but I was like, that's an interesting sequence. Montez Ford is a tag team wrestler, has no real moveset, so he kind of just wrestles very basically, and then out of nowhere hits a frog splash and wins. So that was your match. It's longer than I said, obviously. I covered the kicks. There were a lot of kicks. I covered the random cutter spot. Shane Strickland does love that cutter spot. If you've never seen him,
I like cutters.
He loves to roll around and then do cutters.
I don't. I like cutters that are out of nowhere.
Oh no. Anyways,
Tucker,
yeah.
no sold like the Undertaker.
Yeah. Montez Ford beat Shane Strickland in a match.
Okay.
It was good for like what it was, but it was still Montez Ford in a singles match for some reason. The booking confuses me. If you had both the Street Profits...
Oh, Tucker, hello? Tucker, no. Tucker, no. Okay, well, what he was gonna say was if you had both the Street Profits, this would have been a reasonable match. Because the Street Profits are incredibly good at the professional wrestling. They're exceptionally talented at the whole character work thing. And, okay, so actually, this is probably a good time for me to mention. I don't really watch Evolve these days, but I used to. And Evolve was a pretty hot product a couple of years ago. And I don't really understand what's going on with the WWE stuff. So Tucker's explained it to me a couple times. And I still don't quite get it. One second. I still don't quite get it. I don't quite get why NXT are sending guys to Evolve and they're doing stuff. So, actually, that's not entirely true. I do kind of get it. Originally, when NXT were sending their guys over to Evolve, I was like, but they were only doing dark matches. I was like, they should really send guys over that they can put on the main shows, because that's actually the exciting part of having guys come in and watching and working Evolve, is actually having them work the shows. But I was talking about the bigger guys. I think Adam Cole did a few shows. I think Johnny Gargano was doing a few undercards. Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze, I think, worked an undercard in Evolve at one point. The Velveteen Dream definitely did. Not the Street Profits. I don't really get what's going on there. Other than Tucker just dropped down into the waiting room. Maybe he's back. Hey, hello. Oh, he's gone. He literally left the chat at that point. That's an interesting one. Okay. I think he's definitely alive. Oh, he's on his phone. Don't know what's going on with his internet. I think it is on his end, though. He'll be back. He's gonna... Oh, no, he's there. Hello?
Hello. Okay. As I was explaining, and then I don't know what happened again, my internet completely went down, so I'm now on my phone if I sound completely different. What was the last thing you guys heard from me?
You were saying if both of the Street Profits.
Oh, yeah, they're both there. They're both booked in singles matches. Why not use them? Especially since Colby Corino, who's the fourth member of the Unwanted Stable or whatever, is not booked.
Anything else from the show?
Yeah, so we have a tag team title match. It is the Unwanted's Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy, taking on two Japanese lads whose names I don't know, and since my computer's gone offline, wait, I might still have the page up actually if it didn't refresh itself. It's here.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. I was like, oh, is he pausing for effect? Nope. No, he gone. Great. This is a swimming example of how great this weekend of podcasts is gonna go. So yeah, I don't know how many more matches he's got to cover. Maybe 2 more. Let's get him in here.
Okay, the internet came back, which booted me off of my phone.
I'm swapping you. All right, there you go.
The internet came back, which dropped me from my phone without telling me. Oh my. Okay. This really is snakebitten. Anyways, so Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy are the Evolved Tag Team Champions. They're defending against Konosuke, Takeshita, and all caps Mao. They have a little
Takeshita
tag
team. is DDT's ace.
Yes, one of them did have a belt. The commentators did not do a good job at telling me what the belt was. They were just like, there he is with his belt. And I'm like, what?
Konosuke Takeshita caught my eye in last year's King Grand Prix as being a competent wrestler. He reminds me a lot of... This isn't a great comparison, but I'm going to make it anyway. He reminds me a lot of Keno in that he has this air about him, like he's... Or I guess Zack Sabre Jr.'s worst qualities, I guess, is the better way to put it. Like, he has a formula that he goes through, and he definitely tries to just sell an ace character. But there's nothing about Takeshita that really, like, inspires me when I watch him wrestle.
That's interesting, because I would say this match was pretty much similar to that description. I kind of explained that a little bit earlier on when we weren't on stream. The show overall was very solid, not spectacular. And by the show overall, of course, I mean 4 matches. The tag match didn't have any resounding spots in it. There's nothing I can think of that was significantly cool or made me go, wow, that's something that I will remember like a couple hours from now. It was mostly just a match because we have tag belts, and I guess we should defend them on a show. Eddie Kingston's probably the best worker here. It showed. He looks the most fluid in the ring. He takes control often in terms of pacing and kind of deciding who does what. you can kind of see that, which maybe I guess is a detriment to the match, that you can kind of even see when Kingston is kind of plotting things out as the match actually occurs. But I don't know, kind of interesting to see that, I think. And I don't mean he's literally like, hey, Takashita, hit me. No, he's just, you can see him. He's definitely building the pace, like completely around what he wants to do. And I don't know if that's maybe because the agents actually booked it that way to be like a total exhibition of him.
Evolve has agents.
God damn it, buddy. All right, why you gotta do that? No, but
Eddie Kingston booked it that way.
Eddie Kingston booked himself to go over NWO for life, to Sweet Me. No, but Kingston looked good. Everybody else looked like they were indeed professional wrestlers.
Good,
and that was a wrestling match.
Was there a main event, or was that the main event?
No, there was a main event.
Okay, what was it?
It's Evolve champion Austin Theory versus Kyle O'Reilly.
Ooh, well, that sounds
for
promising.
The Evolve Championship. It was.
Okay.
So this is a match, obviously, that I was like, okay, I argue to say looking forward to. It was the match I dreaded watching the least, because I did know it was Evolve at the end of the day, so that typically meant some jank things were going to happen. I expected a run-in. There was a run-in. I'll get to that. Yeah. So it starts out, Theory, if you don't know, which, I wouldn't be shocked if you didn't know, Austin Theory is very much not known for anything. He's very bland, but he's almost got a character. He's kind of just doing the Rob Van Dam 96 ECW shtick of, he calls himself the real superstar. So he's like, I'm going to be the one who gets signed to NXT, and all you losers will still be here and Evolve. I'm better than Evolve. But he himself is kind of just a wrestler. Like, the hardest thing to try to express about Evolve is how everything is just so painfully average all the time. There's never anything that you look at and go, wow, that's abysmal. Why is that happening? It's mostly, Montez Ford in a singles match. But
I think you're giving the Street Profits a real hard time this evening. I don't think they're as bad as you are making.
No, I don't think they're bad at all, but they're definitely like more than the sum of their parts. If you have an opportunity to put the two together, just put the two together. Just do it. There's no reason not to. But Austin Theory is the champion. He won the championship from Fabian fucking Eichner,
who is good.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna call him Fabian fucking Eichner. Why is Fabian Eichner? Listen, all right, this place, I've been watching this place since Fabian Eichner won the belt. He is the draw to this place for me.
I just like, it's such a Tucker thing to do, to start watching a product immediately after Walter, Zack Sabre Jr., Matt Riddle, Johnny Gargano, Drew Galloway, and EC3 leave.
Okay, you act like they all left at the same time. Like the very next show.
Some of them did. Like, I think Sabre, Riddle, and Keith Lee all left at like the same time.
Yeah. Listen, all right. It's Canada. We get things like 3 years late. So it's technically like 2016 right now.
But you're not actually getting 2016's programming.
Yeah, I guess that's not how that works, is it?
So how was the main event?
Main event was really okay. I mean, that's the problem with Evolve. Everything's average. Kyle does a lot of really fun spots. They actually do a spot to open up the match, where Austin Theory keeps interrupting the ring announcer from saying his name to like add in a different nickname. and then Kyle O'Reilly does it, and it was done with Austin Theory to try to get heat by doing it so many times, and then they did it with Kyle O'Reilly the exact same way right after, the exact same like amount of times, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think Theory did it like 6 times, and O'Reilly only did it like 4 or 5. But
that does sound stupid.
It's stupid because they tried to get heat with it first, and then went, no, you like this now. This is funny, and it's like, no, it's not. I'm just angry. Just fucking wrestle already.
Yeah, I mean, beyond like just the heat dynamic that is valid. I just think the spots is stupid.
Yeah, no, I definitely got the vibe it was stupid. And Kyle's kind of segment of it was him being funny. He called himself, I don't know if this is actually a nickname of his. It might be, because it sounded like something that was said at one point for him. What was it? The ambassador of Kick-Asseter?
Oh, God.
Have you ever heard that for him?
I don't want... That's gone from my mind already. It's gone.
The ambassador of Kick-Asseter, Kyle O'Reilly. You know that's coming up at some point in TakeOver.
God, Morrow, don't watch Evolve. Please. Please,
Escape, Morrow. Escape. The ambassador of Kick-Asseter, Kyle O'Reilly.
I'm seeing coincidentally, I just saw a GIF of this show, and apparently Kyle O'Reilly got very frightened by his own pyro. Can you confirm / deny?
Yeah. No, I can. I can confirm. But kind of moving into the actual match itself, Kyle is... It takes a while for them to get going, and I don't know if that's just because Austin Theory is very average, or if Kyle's adjusting to wrestling in such a small ring again, or what it is, but once you kind of hit the 1/3 inward spot of the match, and things really kick up, Kyle does, at one point, a double underhook suplex, and then bridges over, rolls around, keeps the hold for another double underhook suplex. I feel like that's a spot that he did at some point, because he did it so effortlessly. And then picked him up again and double underhook DDT'd him. Theory, that is. And God, I think you take it for granted watching him on like NXT every once in a while when he's mostly a tag team guy, but Kyle is really fucking good at the whole pro wrestling thing. But the match ends mostly in the only way it can for Evolve at this point. Fuck finish. Woo! Austin Theory pulls in the belt, goes to hit Kyle, misses, hits the ref. The ref's down. Oh God. Nothing happens. The ref's just kind of down for a bit. They continue to wrestle. Kyle locks in an armbar. Theory doesn't tap and just escapes. And then the ref kind of gets up and they fake out another belt shot, but Kyle blocks the ref in the corner so he doesn't get hit. And so the belt's on the ground, and like Kyle locks Theory in an ankle lock, and Theory's reaching for the belt to hit him, and the ref's like right there watching him reach for it. And I'm like, ref, just pick up the belt. Just literally pick up the belt and be like, no, you don't do that. But he doesn't even get to it anyways, so it's a fake out for no reason. Kyle then gets thrown into the corner, comes out, gets DDT'd onto the belt. Theory puts his feet on the ropes. 1, 2. No, he kicks out for some reason. Theory hits his finish on Kyle. 1, 2, 3. Celebrates for 0.5 of a second. And then the Undisputed Era come down. They all beat down Evolve champion Austin Theory, send him to the back like a fucking jobber, and cut a promo on how they're not done, they're here, they're undisputed.
Why? Wait, why? You said this is the only way it could have gone. Why?
That's like Gabe's MO now. It's just random shit for no reason. Like, as I've been watching, there's been so many random fucking swerves. When Austin Theory won the belt, he dropped Priscilla Kelly as his manager because I was only using you to get to the championship. That's how managers work. That's what they're there for. They're there to handle your business and cheat. Like.
Well, she handled his business. And we want someone else to handle his business. You can't blame the guy.
I think that's literally the joke they used. If I'm not wrong, he was literally like, "You've already handled my business. It's time to move on." And I was like, "Oh no."
Okay. It feels like you were erring on the side of 3, but then all the clusterfuck brought you down to like a mid 2.
That's pretty much what I would consider most of the show. There are points where things could definitely get better, and then they don't. And so it's like, oh, okay. And it's just kind of stuck in this. That was a wrestling show I watched.
Okay, so would you recommend people to watch the last half of Evolve 125?
Man, that's tough.
Or should they just go watch Bloodsport instead?
You could do with watching Bloodsport. Maybe watch the main event if you got a couple minutes. I spoiled the big thing for you at the end, though, the finish. So there's no real point in watching that. But if you want to watch the sheer absurdity of, like, a ref bump where nothing happens, and then the ref putting the belt in front of Austin Theory while he's in the ankle lock, and Theory reaches for it, but doesn't get to it for some reason anyways, and it doesn't come back into play until Kyle gets DDT'd, and then he kicks out anyways, so why did we even have the belt? Like, no. Do not watch this show unless you are forced to at gunpoint, in which, hey, maybe it's not that bad.
Okay, so am I correct in saying that we have 40 minutes left before we need to wrap?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think we're going to take that long, but we're now going to start previewing NXT TakeOver. Do you want to...
Oh shit, I gotta get this card up. Hold on.
Yeah, do you want... I'll send you a link to the card if you want while you wrap up. Give you kind of a short sentence on Evolve 25 if you want to just finish off your thoughts.
Yes, I shall. And I thought of it actually, because I said it already technically. Evolve 125. It was a wrestling show that I did watch today, yes.
Okay. So, NXT TakeOver has its standard 5 matches. We will start with the tag match, which is going to be War Raiders, as they are now known as, for some reason. Because, you know, machines are so much more dangerous to kids than Raiders. Taking on Aleister Black and Ricochet, who are, I think, on the main roster now, aren't they?
They fought for the Raw tag belts on Monday, and they're fighting for the SmackDown tag belts on Sunday. They will have contested for all 3 tag team championships. No, probably not winning any of them.
3
this
of
week.
The 4, unless they fight for the 4th one on Monday.
Oh God, I forgot that the UK belts exist.
Oh, sorry, 3 of the 5.
Oh no, the women's belts
There you
exist.
go. There you go. Come on, Bayley and Sasha versus Aleister Black and Ricochet would be a hell of a match.
Yeah.
Okay, Tucker, noted anti mixed gender wrestling fan over there.
I think I even said on like the last episode that I didn't really care as long as the matches were good.
And I gave you a good match, and you're like, "Fuck that shit." So, what do you think about the actual match that's happening tomorrow night?
I think it will.
Will it matter that they're wrestling again on Sunday?
Will it matter? Probably not. I mean, it's almost certain though that they will not be winning, so there's no real element of I'm actually interested to see where they go with this.
No, but I mean, like, I don't think they can. If they look, and they're not, but if they were scheduled to have a 30-minute time slot on Sunday, there's no way they could go hard on Friday. You just see it all the time on these kind of weekends. Like, Evolve had a weekend a couple years back where they had a show on the Friday, the Saturday, and then the Super Show on the Sunday. And anybody who wrestled all 3, like, you could see that there was only one match that they really gave their maximum input to.
Right. Yeah. I think that could definitely be a problem, but I don't think that. I don't think they're going to be that involved in, because the SmackDown tag belt match on Sunday is a fatal 4-way tag team match. So I assume Ricochet is just there to get his spots in. Black will hit a Black Mass or two, and then we can all go home happy.
So you think they're gonna put? Do you think? I mean, NXT tag matches have had kind of a precedent over the last 2 years, where I don't think they've had a ton of groundwork being put in, but I can't deny the work, and a lot of people just seem to like them. Do you think it's gonna be more of the same?
The only problem that I could foresee with that is War Raiders. They're a very good team, of course, but they've also had the benefit of feuding with O'Reilly and Strong, who are really good for some reason as a tag team. I don't know if they've ever teamed before, joining up in the Fed, but they look very fluid together. Their double team stuff is grade A, and I just don't see that with Black and Ricochet. They're very much two singles wrestlers who happen to be teaming with each other. They're not a tag team.
So you think that's going to matter?
I think it will, in terms of just total enjoyability of the match. I think we're going to get a lot more single spots that don't, because I think probably one of the most exciting things about tag team wrestling anywhere, and of course the tag team wrestling here at NXT, they really well take advantage of the fact that there are more bodies in the ring. They pull off spots that you could only do by having two people that are on the same side, in theory.
No, Austin Theory's not in this match.
Oh, you're right. My bad. He could have been, and I just totally missed him. That's possible. God knows I've missed him for long enough. That sounded like I had an emotional connection to him. I miss him. No, but I just don't think Black and Ricochet are a tag team unit, in terms of offense and flow, even outside of just general kayfabe and stuff like that. I think they're both, of course, very good pro wrestlers, but I don't think that they're gelling great together as a tag team, especially this early into this weird tag team run, especially when I don't think either of them are putting that much into it, because I don't think they think this will go on very long. I think, God, a lot of I think. I
mean, this is a podcast. We're asking for your opinion, Tucker. No problem.
That's true. No, we are speculating on things that have not happened. At least it was under my thoughts that when they do the brand reshuffle, the complete reshuffle in a couple weeks or whatever, I thought they'd be split up to go on and be their own singles guys, but they're fighting for the three major tag team belts all in 1 week.
3 of the 5.
The three major, thank you.
Yeah,
the UK aren't people,
okay, fine, 3
and
of the 4.
The UK are not people, and women, well, I'll leave it at that.
No,
I'm a regular old Dave Meltzer.
Jesus Christ! You know, the most well received podcast in the history of the wrestling shows was an expose on the rise of women's wrestling in late 2015, and look how far we've fallen in 4 years.
I think that Aleister Black was thinner in NXT.
Yikes! Thinner in a hot way, though, right?
Well, no, I think since he's moved on to the main roster, he's put on a bit of weight, and the makeup probably doesn't help either. But
So, who do you think's gonna win this match, Dave?
Well, the War Raiders, they've always been big boys, and they haven't gotten fat. They are. My dog is I don't know if you can hear my dog. He's just attacking my door. I don't know why. But
shut up, Tucker.
Literally, he's just one hand on it. That's why I think Dave Meltzer, though. I believe that I don't know a Dave Meltzer impression. I just speak like I'm kind of dull.
Yikes, dude. So, who do you think is going to win this match?
I'm making so many enemies today. Probably the War Raiders. They have to. Like, it's
okay. All right. I agree. I have two pieces of news that I meant to share earlier. Very important news. So, first of all, I am being told by my source, Randall Ortman, that Eve Torres is apparently in town for WrestleMania 35.
Oh no.
And secondly, I have just realized, and everybody who's more in the know than me will know this already, but I'm still claiming it as a podcast exclusive. Io Shirai has grown her hair long, and it looks awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me she dyed it blonde, in which I was like, oh, she's going to that main roster. Good lord. All the way, straight to the belt. I'm being informed, I know this isn't anything to do with Mania, but I'm being informed by my sources that Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, they're going to put their Raw Tag Team, World Tag Team Championships on the line against Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder at that there WrestleMania on Sunday.
On the pre-show?
No, on the main show I'm reading.
Really?
Yeah, if not, there's your pre-show main event, folks.
I don't know about either.
The Revival Swan Song is the pre-show main event.
Surely Asuka versus Peyton Royce will be the pre-show main event.
Asuka versus Peyton Royce in the Battle Royal with like 20 other women.
Are they really not giving SmackDown a women's singles match?
No.
Is there only one women's singles match on the card?
There's the one match, and then... Well, there's the one match, the tag match, and then the Battle Royal.
Oh my god.
In a year where we could have seen, like, 5 or so women's matches, realistically, we're going to get, like, 1, basically.
Okay, well, I'm sure look, we can't get dragged into that conversation yet.
That's
We've got
true.
a weekend to do that. Speaking of women, there are 4 of them in the NXT women's title match on tomorrow night. So I like all 4 of these women: Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and Kairi Sane. How do they pronounce it? How do they sell it? Is it Sane?
I tried to think of a joke and like I couldn't. My brain went completely blank. I was gonna say like Sane, but like.
Well, the problem is I don't watch NXT much lately, and there is actually a footballer called Sane, and it's spelt like that. So is it Sane or is it Sane?
No, it is very much Kairi Sane.
Okay, right. I think if there's anybody that could lose a name on the main roster, it's Kairi. Kairi is fine. You can even split.
I thought you were telling me she's just going around as sane.
You can
here comes sane.
You could put a space in there, right? Like Kai space Ri. She's Kairi. Yeah? No, okay.
Yeah. No, I feel it.
So I like all 4 of these women. Bianca Belair, I think I mentioned all 4. I think for most of them, a Fatal 4-Way is not their ideal environment. But
no,
they're all talented. It's going to be fun. I think the consensus will be that this is the best women's match in NXT for a while. But I will think it's the worst because I mean I think my pulse is a little bit different to like consensus for NXT. People will be like, oh, so many spots, nobody's weaknesses were exposed. It was great and fast and great. But like for me, I've really loved what Shayna's been doing for the last like year and a half, and I just don't think we're gonna see any of that. So
no,
it is what it is. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane are 2 of the most talented people in the world, so I'm sure this will be fun. And Bianca Belair has some spots. So I don't know. This could be really good, but Shayna needs to have a top class, world class performance on this one.
Yeah, I think to get kind of the thing that you're looking for with Shayna, you'd have to very much make it a like. This is going to sound weird to say, but a 1v1 v1 v1, then a fatal 4-way, like very much segmented, which.
I disagree. Actually, I think the best fatal 4-ways aren't segmented like that. I think.
No, I agree with that.
Play off the dynamics.
But I think I think with Shayna's kind of thing that she's been doing, obviously, with wearing down people and like the whole sadism gimmick, you know. I'm glad that popped is so big. But I think with that, you need very much like one-on-one in order to get those story beats in, and if not, she's just going to be a wrestler.
Let's try and step aside from the sadism thing. So I think you're, I think
the whole sadism gimmick.
I think you're off. I'm not saying that she's going to be able to have a good match on tomorrow night, but I do think there's another route to it if she were to take it, and that is that like her matches being enjoyable aren't just due to a formula. It's because her wrestling IQ is so high, and there are a lot of opportunities in a well-structured fatal four-way to have high wrestling IQ and to play it tactically and to play it like a dastardly heel. And sure, on certain occasions, isolation is going to play a part of that, but I think there are a lot of situations where she, could make enjoyable spots out of a fatal four-way situation, and Kairi and Io are going to do a great job of providing that. But I don't see it happening. There have been like 3 good fatal four-way triple threats in the history of wrestling, so the odds that this one's going to be one of the good ones is unlikely.
Yeah, that's about right. How about Bianca Belair? She's gonna be there.
I think I put her like with Nia Jax and Carmella, whereas like they're always gonna need help to bring out the best in them, but they've got all the natural tools that they need to make something out of their career.
I would agree with that. She's very much very capable, but unless she's got a great opponent, solid over spectacular.
So, who do you think is winning this match?
I think it's got to be Belair.
I think it's Belair.
I think the other 3 are going up like all at once.
My first thought was that, but like you haven't been on, like they're all ready. I think all 4 of them are ready, but. Oh,
of course.
I don't know if they're going to throw all 4 or all 3 of them up. And Io hasn't been there for that long.
I think it's going to be stupid, but I think Shayna is the storyline best feud for Becky right after Mania.
Yeah, after she's lost, she might want to take revenge on one of Ronda's
Charlotte walking around with the 2 belts. Why?
Ronda walking around with the 2 belts, dude. Haven't you heard about that 1-month extension?
Ronda at home pregnant with the 2 belts.
No, dude, haven't you heard about the 1-month extension? She's staying on for another month, apparently.
No!
Apparently.
They're totally not going to do the switch at Mania and then do it at fucking Extreme Rules as a big crowding moment.
They're going to go to Extreme Rules. They're going to have a cage match, and
yes!
She's still going to lose. And then they're going to take it to Saudi Arabia. And they're not allowed to wrestle, so I guess they can't take it to Saudi Arabia.
She will technically lose.
They're going to take it to Australia. No, okay. That's fair. Assuming that... Look, honestly, as we get closer to Sunday, guys, these podcasts are going to get a lot more pessimistic about Becky walking out that match as the winner. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm already at the point where I think it's maybe 60-20-20. So, yeah. That's fair. If Becky wins, then that's reasonable.
And I think you need Kairi and Io to kind of bolster the women's tag stuff.
Oh, that would be cool. I'd be down for that.
Because they're already teaming them as like the Sky Pirates or something, and it's like...
That's so them, though. Like, they ran around as a fucking... they had a trio where they all wore Lucha Panda masks for God knows how long.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of them still is a Lucha Panda, and the other one's a fucking pirate. Like...
An actual fucking pirate, too.
An actual fucking pirate. Not like I dress up like a pirate. She's legitimately a pirate for some reason.
Like, you gotta check out those gram pics where she's, on the boats, waving the black flag.
Waving the flag.
She's raiding, like, private yachts and stuff. Fucking stopping a private cruise in the middle of the ocean saying, "Give me your boaty."
Hey, wait a minute, aren't you pro wrestler Kairi Sane? No.
No, I am pirate of the sea and the sky, Kairi Sane.
There you go.
Pirate of the video games industry. The greatest good guys fighting against the injustices that are the Epic Games Store. Speaking of the Epic Games Store, let's talk about Velveteen Dream and Matt Riddle. Two good North American boys fighting for a good North American title. What has happened to the North American title? What is it? Why does it exist? Who is holding it? Why has it gone through 3 owners? What is happening?
Because, alright, we've got a new belt here. Adam Cole, you should be the first champion because you're important to this show.
He's also
okay,
North
Adam
American.
Cole? Yeah, you may give it to Ricochet.
Also
Okay,
North
Ricochet.
American.
You had a fun 3-second run with the belt. Here's Johnny Gargano with the
Also
belt.
North American.
Johnny, congratulations. You literally touched the belt. Here you go, Velveteen.
Very North American.
And now, I assume what's going to happen at TakeOver, it will be, okay, Velveteen, you held onto that belt. There you go, Matt Riddle. Bye, Velveteen. Go up there on the main roster and do shitty comedy segments.
Okay, interesting. I think we're going to disagree for the first time on the night. Who's winning this match?
I think Riddle.
Okay. I think I know they haven't had this belt before, but the fact that they put a belt on him shows that they might be willing to give him more time than the other jobber to the stars over the years. And I think Riddle is main roster ready right now.
Damn, you're going literally the exact opposite of what I said. Not even just Riddle loses, they both kind of hang out down. You're like, Riddle just goes up, like, immediately.
Night
like
after Mania, yeah. So,
okay,
I'm going with Velveteen to win this one.
Okay, I'm going to sound stupid right now, because I know the answer, but I'm still going to ask it anyways, because my brain asked the question.
Sure.
Is Riddle, popular enough for Night After Mania? Or is he, November EC3 call-up of, oh yeah, I guess he's here?
Well, he's definitely known in that crowd. He's been working Mania weekend since he started.
Oh, that's true. I forget the fact that Night After Mania is literally in the same place, Mania, NXT, the SmackDown after. They all take place at the same place. I don't know why my brain totally skipped on that, because that's all you need. Just need that one response for everybody to go, oh, wait, people know who that is? I should know who that is.
I also think that Velveteen, because NXT is so big with the WWE audience now, so much so that I think there's a good... people always talk about NXT being this niche product. There's a good chance that more than 60% of Raw's audience watches NXT. I think you can debut Velveteen anywhere at any time, because I think the crowd's going to know. Obviously, he will get the best reaction Night After Mania, because everybody will. But I think you can put him anywhere, because I think the WWE crowds will know him. But with Riddle, he has such a strong connection to that pilgrimage crowd that I think the best time is definitely Night After Mania. The best time for EC3 would have been Night After Mania, but EC3 is also not that good. So,
Both in kayfabe and out. Losing to No Way Jose on the house show.
Hey now, No Way Jose is a legend of this industry, and he's just not getting the opportunities like the NXT Tag Team titles. Sorry, the Evolve Tag Team titles. That's when you know you've hit the top of the industry.
Member of the Street Profits, No Way Jose.
Anything else to say on this match? Or?
I was going to say, just kind of piggybacking a little bit on what you said. I think Velveteen is the most over anybody in NXT has ever been, in terms of people knowing them. I think he is genuinely the face of that brand all time. When you tell somebody who would just watch a Raw or a SmackDown, how about NXT? I think Velveteen is that popular just among even there is no mainstream wrestling fan anymore. You watch 3 hours every Monday.
Oh, well, there is, but it only comes around this Sunday every year.
Right, this is the casual wrestling fan.
That's the Mania time, yeah. And it's not the people who go, because nobody who drops multiple grand on a wrestling show is a casual fan at all.
No.
But the people who watch on Sunday from home on the network, some of those will be.
I think that Velveteen is, in terms of even just promoting wise, his face is on everything to do with NXT. It wasn't Garganos. It wasn't Ciampa. It wasn't Cole. It wasn't even Balor to the amount that Velveteen is. Velveteen is fucking everywhere with that company. He's even on things that aren't NXT. Like, he's on fucking SmackDown posters sometimes.
Which is why I think they've dedicated, by giving him the belt, to one day give him the belt before he goes up to the main roster.
I think that there's in such a scramble up top to try to figure out what the fuck they're doing. They're just going to know that people like Velveteen Dream.
Oh, I don't think they're scrambling. I don't think they're scrambling on the main roster at all right now. I think they're very comfortable.
Vince is like sitting there in the dumpster fire, like, this is fine.
No, he's not
I'm
even sitting there in the
actually
dumpster fire. He's sitting there saying, I am going to get so many plaudits on Sunday for this women's main event, and now I'm on a 12-month calendar to get Roman to the main event again.
He's like, they will forget.
I think he's delighted right now. I think he's very comfortable because he knows Roman's going to get over like properly this time. I very much doubt it's going to be a rejection again.
If they ever try to turn, if they ever start to turn on him, just be like, I had leukemia, remember? And they're like, oh shit, yep, you're right, good guy. He's a good guy, my bad.
You're no longer Dave Meltzer. You just said that. God, you gave away your cover.
Oh no.
So
what's going on in New Japan?
Speaking of New Japan, nope, neither of these guys wrestle for New Japan. Speaking of New Japan's friends, Rev Pro, who maintain a healthy rivalry with that German company, WXW, VXV, we've got two VXV veterans, Pete Dunne and Volta. Big Van Volta. Big Daddy Volta. For the UXT.
The UXT?
The UXT Heavyweight Championship of the World. What do you think of this one? Now, I am conflicted. So I'm interested to hear someone who has mentioned in the past that until the start of the year, he'd never watched Walter wrestle. So your perspective is going to be very interesting. So go first.
Walter wins.
Oh, I don't care about that yet. How good is the match going to be?
Oh, it's going to be really fucking good. Like, probably... tag match looks like it'll be disappointing, probably, because I think Black and Ricochet aren't that great. Women's match is a multi-man thing, and as you said, those could either be really, really good, but it's most likely going to be, it'll be alright. Gargano Cole will just be Shawn Michaels. You get a Shawn Michaels. There's a Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, Shawn Michaels, Shawn Michaels, Shawn Michaels. Velveteen Riddle will be good, I assume. Something could go wrong, of course. I think Dunne Walter is the consensus like match of the night for this card.
Weekend, I think, from what I'm hearing. Consensus.
Yeah, actually, now that I kind of like think about everything else that's on, this is probably the big one. Like, this is the most important match, and it's on their brand that didn't even get their own show. Like they brought the UK belt over. Again, I don't understand why. It's Mania weekend. Why don't you throw on the UK tag belts as well? Do 6 matches. Fuck it. Like, you can just do a rematch of Mustache Mountain versus Ticket to Hell Ride or whatever the fuck their name was. You can just do that again. But no, not even. You only get the one match. But I think it's going to be like, well, I can't say without a doubt, because like, match could start.
I kind of blanked on your point, because NXT takeovers have literally always had 5 matches.
Yeah, no, I know that,
okay.
But I'm saying it's Mania. Do one more just to get the UK belts on, like the UK tag belts on.
Why would you pick the tag belts? Aren't like the women okay? Or do you just hate women? I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
They have a women's belt? Oh, Lord, they do. Oh, God, I totally forgot that that's a thing. I was like, they don't have a women's belt yet. That's wild. No, they do. It's just on Toni Storm, and she's just there with it all the time. They don't really... I don't think they have her feuding with anyone.
Okay, so the consensus definitely is that this is going to be match of the weekend. These two are incredibly good. Literally, very rarely since 2016... have 2 people from my last year's top 10 had a match with each other, because everything's gotten split up now. But this is, again, 2 people from my last year's top 10 having a match, which is always exciting, even though they're almost never good. bless AJ Styles and John Cena for being the exception.
Woo!
I have unfortunately seen these two wrestle before.
Oh no, is it not good? Oh, no.
Unfortunately, I'm not watching this as a fresh matchup. But I will say it was on a TV taping in Germany, and I'm sure that they will treat this a little bit better. But they do have a bit of an issue with chemistry. They both like to wrestle Dom. Like, they both do. And neither of them really does face in peril to a great extent. So it's going to be a real test for Pete to make this a top, like a classic. Look, everyone's going to love this. It's going to make 4 easy. But if it's going to be Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura levels of like maybe a weekend classic, then Pete's got a job. And I'm sure he's up to it, but Pete's got a job.
Well, because I think everybody knows that it's Pete's time to go. Sounds like he's gonna die. Oh my god. No, but with them...
Oh, that's interesting too. We're gonna get on to that.
Oh no! He is going to die!
No.
Roman Reigns gave him leukemia. Oh god.
There must always be a cancer patient, my child.
Oh no. No, but I think everything that was the NXT UK brand, the entire narrative of it is, okay, Pete's held on to this belt for so long, it's time for him to go, but we don't have anybody who can take the belt off of him. Oh wait, we've just signed fucking Walter. Like, there you go.
Big Van Walter.
Yeah.
So you think Walter's gonna win?
Yeah, I think it's Walter's gonna break Pete Dunne's like 7,000 day title reign, send him up to the main roster because, you know, Triple H is like somewhere like, Pete Dunne.
So I think Pete's gonna win.
If they make Pete win, I'll be so fucking pissed. I'll be like, how are you ever going to move him forward? Ever. He's just gonna hold on to that belt. Like,
I think Pete is only gonna lose that belt to Tyler Bate.
I thought you were gonna say to Triple H.
That would be great. No,
because my brain was like, it's so weird because Pete Dunne is like the exact type of person that Trips would
wishes he was
completely hated. Like, he's a small, kind of skilled guy, but you know, he's not Triple H. He's not a big boy. And so then I thought about it. I'm like, he's grooming him. He's giving him this 7,000 day title reign so he can swoop in and take it.
You're missing the big play here. SummerSlam weekend. Pete Dunne, Big Banter Baron, main event.
Yes.
Go back to New Japan.
Go back to New Japan. So I'd love him to yell that at Pete Dunne. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Go back to OTT, you Irish bastard. Actually, I think Pete Dunne was in OTT a lot, but he's not Irish, to my knowledge. Pete Dunne about to employ the backstop. I'm surprised there isn't a wrestler who has the Irish backstop as a finisher yet. I'm sure it's somewhere. I'm sure someone has it. I think Pete's going to win. Look, Walter is a perfect candidate to take the belt off of him. Also, I'm disappointed this Wikipedia page is not capitalizing Walter. Is that in NXT UK? Does he not get his capitals anymore?
I haven't watched all that much, but I'm not sure because in other places on his Wikipedia page, it is capitalized, but it's not in others.
A small name and a big character. That's what he says.
A small name and a big character.
Yeah, characters and characters, you know, letters.
Fuck, he got me. I was like, I don't get it, because he's like, they're capitals though, so they're not small, and then like, oh, I'm fucking stupid.
Yeah, I look, Walter would be a perfect guy to lose it to. It's Mania weekend, it's a big one. I just think, I don't see it, look, unless he is going, I think he can go to the main roster with the belt. And I think he's the face of that brand. There's a part of me that thinks he shouldn't lose it to someone who isn't from the UK. for one thing. I mean,
well, because then you can do like a takeover thing, not like a takeover, like a event, but like the Germans they've come
he's
to
Austrian.
get revenge. Well, you know who else was Austrian, but everybody thought he was German.
Let's move on from that point. So I think they should.
Ring comp comes from somewhere.
I think you. Well, Austrians speak German.
I'm aware.
So you can, if you want to do that, I think you should build it up beforehand rather than build it up afterwards. And I think that Pete should lose it on an NXT UK show for another thing.
That's fair.
And again, I do think, like, Walter's. I love Walter. Literally my second favorite wrestler last year. Like, that's. I watched a lot of matches last year. Like 2018 was one of my most active years, and he became part of the volume club that very few people have been able to put out that amount of volume in their careers. So I clearly really like Walter, but I just don't think now is the time. I don't think, and I haven't been watching NXT UK, but I just don't think now is the time. I think you lose a lot once Pete loses that belt.
Yeah, you do,
and I don't think they're ready for it. I think you lose a lot on Pete as well when he loses that belt.
I agree with that, oddly.
So, we've currently split 50-50 on whether we agree on predictions or not. Let's head up to the main event. Gargano and Cole. What a match that this is going to be, am I right?
Shawn Michaels in the crowd, feigning a heart attack. He's like, oh. Like, he's like, they're doing all my spots on her. They're doing all my spots. I love it.
How much do you think they try to tell stories in this match? Because, like, do they have a story, or are they just gonna? I
love the statement. They try to tell stories.
Do they have a story they can tell, or is this just gonna be like why am I so violent?
To tell the story of Johnny Gargano. He's so desperate to win the championship because, like, that's kind of a thing they fall back on sometimes. And Adam Cole's a dude who wrestles, man.
Which of the three falls is going to be a DQ? DQ.
The last one.
Oh no.
And with a draw fuck finish.
That then goes into overtime. NXT. Ciampa's been like handcuffed to the railing or something and looks on longingly as the camera zooms in and out of his face like, no, I'm not watching Johnny Gargano win my belt. Gargano looks in overtime. We're like 30 minutes into overtime. Gargano stands up, he looks at Cole, then he looks to Ciampa and says, I'm sorry, I love you, and then super kicks Cole in the face.
You know, we're gonna get a spot where they do the shitty super kick thing, where they both go for a super kick and get their legs caught on one another, because that's how that works somehow.
Yeah. No, they're gonna they're gonna dual super kicks. They're both gonna that's gonna be one of the later falls, is they're gonna hit each other with super kicks and both go down, and Ciampa handcuffed to the railing is gonna be like,
one guy's gonna fall onto the other, like, while they're both out cold.
I mean, who's the special guest referee for this match? It's gotta be The Undertaker.
It's gotta be The Undertaker.
It's an end of an era. The Undisputed Era.
I mean, I'm trying to think of who it could be. I don't even know.
Aleister Black.
It would have to be.
He hates Cole and he hates Gargano. He'll be right down the middle.
He'll be right down the middle, or he'll just attack everyone and ruin it.
No, he won't attack everyone until 30 minutes into the match when he turns, super kicks them both. No, what happens is, like, Gargano's about to win, Black Mass, and everyone's like, oh no, he's betrayed Gargano. Cole gets up and gives him a cheesy smile. Another Black Mass. Shawn Michaels in the crowd, just single tear.
I hate wrestling.
I mean, I looked at that match, and my first thought was, I think that's going to be super fun. Not because it's going to be good, but because it's going to be bad. And that's sometimes really fun.
I hear you. It's got It's okay. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Everything that NXT has become is building this match. When they do the shitty "We Are NXT" thing, this is that match. This is everything they've been building to. It's Shawn Michaels clone number 1 versus Shawn Michaels clone 0.5. And they're gonna fight. And there's gonna be a lot of weird drama bullshit, and I'm sure some dude is gonna like lose his smile mid-match and try to quit, but no, he can't quit because he worked so hard to get here, and he's gonna be champion, damn it. And the wrestling. Wrestling.
So who's gonna win this match? You've gone first every other time, so to make it fair on you, I'll go first this time. Gargano. And Cole's getting called up.
Oh, fuck.
I think all of the Undisputed Era are getting called up.
I was gonna say Cole and Gargano gets called up.
Are you still gonna say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You still gonna say that? Putty DMs me the script. There it is, right there. He's just like, wrecked, bitch.
I definitely know what you mean. I just think, I think they care too much about the Gargano story.
Listen, Triple H, he's been at this so long, and he hasn't redone the Evolution All the Belts spot. This is his chance. This is his chance to do it.
Wait,
he's gonna do it.
The Undisputed Era don't have any other belts.
But they will get them.
Oh, I suppose.
You can see it.
They've had chances before. They have had all the belts, just not like all the belts. They've had the North American title and the tag belts when they were 3.
Right.
I know what you mean, though. I think you're right that he wants to do that, but I don't think he's going to do it now. I think he's going to finish I think Gargano is going to lose it to Dream.
Right.
So
that could happen, but
they've
mean
had quite a big story together.
Velveteen needs to lose the belt to Riddle?
No, because they don't give a shit about their belts. They're gonna do like a champ.
They'll do a last minute. Oh shit! Like whip it on fucking Montez Ford of the Street.
Okay, right.
He brings the swag like nobody can.
I don't think we have the chance to have a tie. Because I just think the way we've predicted, someone's going to win or lose this predictions contest. But in case of a tie, I have a tiebreaker.
There's literally 5 matches we can't tie.
We've predicted the same on some of them. Anyway, regardless, I'm doing my tiebreaker.
Oh, Bianca, you're right.
And the War Raiders. Yeah. But I'm doing my tiebreaker, even though I do think you're right, because there's 3 matches that we're definitely not going to, unless there's a draw or something.
Hey. Fall 3 of that 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah,
we're gonna 2 out of 3 falls match. It's okay. They missed out on the chance to make it an Iron Man match.
Wait, it's important that you stop talking because the tiebreaker ties into this. How long is the main event gonna go? Closest person wins the tiebreaker.
3 hours. No,
I am going 40 minutes.
You're going 40. I was gonna say 30.
So. Okay, sure. It's the closest one wins, so.
You'll probably win. They'll end up going like I was going to say 80 minutes.
I was tempted to go over an hour because I think it's possible.
Oh, it's definitely possible.
I do think like you're onto something about this, like maybe them having to do overtime. Like I can see them doing that. It's gonna be hilarious. I don't know how long the show is gonna go though, because they might try and keep it tight. And Walter or Pete Dunne, they're going to give like 25 to at least. Unless Walter and Pete Dunne are like, no, we can do this better if you give us 15. And
right,
and Trips listens. But I don't. But Sean will be there like, but Hunter, if you give him an extra 10, I can give him a few spots and really tell a story, you know, about how the big German lost his mother in the war, and you can still see it in his eyes.
German lost his mother in the war. He's doing it for his family back home, his impoverished family of 9. He's got 9 siblings.
Well, make sure you tell Nigel to really sell the family angle. Right.
Nigel's just like, fuck off.
So, also, we'll do one more question and then we'll wrap it up. What do you think your match of the night is going to be?
No. Just starts
I've
crying.
already written it down. Surprise me. I don't think I'm going to be surprised, though.
No, it's probably going to be Pete Dunne, Walter. Like, I don't know what else it could be. I mean, Dream Riddle could be really good, but everything... No, I guess the only matches I've seen Matt Riddle in thus far really have been against, like, 3,000-pound Cassius Ohno. Bless his heart.
Wow, he's in such better shape than when he joined, and you're there insulting him. How dare you?
Well, I'm sorry, Cassius Ohno. When you watch this, I apologize.
Hey, Chris is a cultured man. There's a chance that one day he watches this and is like, "Yo, Tucker, I'm hurt." I'm actually gonna say
he's gonna like find me and be like, "I was hurt by what you said," and I'll be like, "Oh no."
I am going with Gargano Cole. I think I'm going to enjoy that match the most.
Oh wait, if we're doing enjoyment,
no, I think I'm going to give it the highest.
I
think I'll give it the highest rating of the night too. I think it is going to claw its way to a 3.5 while everything else implodes.
Everything else implodes all around it.
Although I will say, I do think Dream Riddle could be good if Matt Riddle decides to show up.
I was going to say
it's night 2 of Mania weekend. And he's in fucking a big city where there's plentiful access to weed. I don't think he's showing up. That's true.
Yeah, he's not even going to show up. Not show up to that. He just no show. He'll just be like, fuck this.
He'll be like Jeff Hardy at Final Destination 2011 or whatever it was.
We don't have Matt Riddle, but we've got Montez Ford.
Montez Ford wins the belt, takes it to Evolve. All right. Well, we should wrap soon. So now, really. So we're gonna be live tomorrow evening for our first official show of Mania weekend, which is NXT Live. We'll be there 15 minutes before the show starts. Which let me check the pins. 15 minutes before the show starts, which is or about 6 p.m. So about 6 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to be going live, chatting shit. You can mute the stream, or you can keep the stream on and just turn it down, or you can just come hang out. If you don't want to listen to us jabber during the show, you can come listen to us jabber after the show, which will be at approximately 9 Eastern. So we'll hopefully see you there. Tucker, why don't you sign us out?
For myself, Putty, Montez Ford, Walter's dead mother, and of course, the now terribly overweight Aleister Black. This is Dave Meltzer. Thank you so much for watching.